Welcome back to Horoscope TV. If you are an Aquarius,
hmm
you need to stop what you are doing right now and listen to this,
Yeah, you really do.
because this entire conversation is built exclusively for you. We are looking at the week of April 20 to April 26, 2026.
A very, very big week.
And honestly, I'm not exaggerating when I say this is going to be one of the most drastic, just whiplash-inducing weeks of your entire year. You absolutely have to tune in for this one.
Oh, without a doubt, the astro charts are packed.
Because the charts show this wild ride. It starts with these heavy, grounded responsibilities at home.
Right.
But then if you navigate that, it ends with a sudden, explosive flood of brilliant ideas and just magical romance by the end of the week.
It is a massive shift. The astrological charts for this week are showing intense planetary movement. We are going to analyze all of it.
Every single piece.
Exactly. And by the end of this, you will have a clear map to navigate your work, your love life, your money, and your health.
And just a quick reminder before we jump in, there is zero jargon here.
None at all.
We are not using confusing terms or big words. Just a fun, clear look at what the stars are saying for you.
Just the practical, everyday translation of the charts.
Right. So let us jump right into that heavy start. We are talking about April 20 to April 21.
The beginning of the week.
Yeah. And for an Aquarius, you are an air sign. You live in the future. You are the innovator.
You move fast.
Exactly. So this start is going to feel incredibly uncomfortable. The charts show this sudden drop in speed. Why does Monday feel like walking through thick mud?
Well, the anchor drops on April 20 because the sun moves into the sign of Taurus.
Okay, Taurus.
Right. And to understand this, we have to look at the elements. You are air, right? Air moves quickly. It fills the room. It travels everywhere.
It's pure thought.
Exactly. Pure thought and communication. But Taurus is earth.
Earth is heavy.
Very heavy. Earth is solid, unmoving, and deeply concerned with the physical world.
So it is the exact opposite of what an Aquarius wants to be doing.
Right. When the sun, which is the core energy of the week, enters Taurus, it grabs your fast-moving mind and pulls it straight down into the dirt.
Oh, wow.
It forces your focus away from, saving the world or inventing the future.
The big picture stuff.
Yeah, and it points it directly at your home, your family routines, and your very private life.
It sounds kind of restrictive. Like being a racehorse that is suddenly asked to do carefully detailed needlepoint.
That is a perfect analogy. Yes, the racehorse doing needlepoint.
Like you wake up on Monday and instead of having a grand vision for your career, you just feel this overwhelming pressure to fix a broken hinge on your kitchen cabinet.
Or organize a messy closet. Yeah.
Right.
Taurus energy wants security.
Right.
And for the next few days, you will feel an intense psychological need to secure your physical environment.
But it's not just the home stuff, right? Because looking at the astro data, there's a much more difficult layer to this day.
There is. On the exact same day, April 20, Mercury meets up with Saturn and Mars. Yeah, they are sitting in the exact same spot in the sky, blending their energies together.
So let me break those three down for a second. Mercury is how we talk, how we send emails, our daily communication.
Right.
And Saturn is the strict teacher, right? The planet of harsh rules and discipline.
Very harsh.
And then Mars is the fighter, the planet of aggression and drive. So putting all three of those in a blender sounds like a recipe for a massive headache.
It absolutely is. It creates a complete pressure cooker.
So how does that actually work? How does the communication of Mercury filter through the strictness of Saturn and the aggression of Mars?
Well, Mars gives you the urge to speak aggressively and move quickly. You want to get things done.
Right.
But Saturn builds a massive wall right in front of you.
Oh, man.
At your job, this transit is a huge warning sign. The charts indicate that there are absolutely no lazy shortcuts allowed right now.
None at all.
None. Your boss, or whoever holds authority over you, is essentially acting as the stand-in for Saturn.
So they are the enforcer.
Exactly. If they have a strict rule about how a report is formatted, or a policy about copying certain people on emails, you have to follow it to the absolute letter.
But wait, I need to push back on this a little bit.
Sure.
Because the core identity of an Aquarius is the rule breaker, right? They are the ones who look at a broken system, ignore the red tape, and find a faster way to do things.
They are the innovators, yes.
So if an Aquarius is meant to be wild and innovative, shouldn't they just ignore these boring boss rules and do their own thing? Why put their head down now?
Because skipping the rules right now will literally lead to a disaster.
Wait, really?
Yes. In any other week, I would say use your innovative mind to change the system. But when Saturn connects with Mercury and Mars, the penalty for breaking the rules is unusually harsh.
So Saturn is just waiting for you to mess up.
Saturn does not care about your brilliant new idea right now. Saturn only cares about compliance.
Why?
If you try to skip a step or send a rushed email because you think the rule is stupid, Saturn will make sure you get caught.
And I'm guessing the fallout is not pretty.
It will be public and embarrassing. The charts are demanding you show discipline. You are laying a safe foundation right now.
The needlepoint phase.
Exactly, the needlepoint phase. You have to master the boring details so that nobody can question your competence later in the week when the wild ideas come.
So you thread the tiny needle perfectly before you are allowed to run the race.
That is exactly how you have to handle it. And honestly, this immense pressure, this feeling of having to bite your tongue and follow the rules,
It takes a toll.
it takes a huge physical toll. On April 21st, the moon moves into Cancer.
And Cancer's all about emotions, right?
Emotional safety, comfort, and nurturing. When the moon goes there, your body starts reacting to the stress of all those rules from the day before.
I noticed in the astro charts, there's a very specific warning about health here.
Yes, there is.
It points directly to the stomach. But why would an air sign dealing with annoying work emails suddenly get a stomach ache?
The connection is actually very physical. Air signs live in their nervous systems,
Right. They're always thinking.
always thinking. So when you are prevented from speaking your mind, which is what Saturn's forcing you to do, that frustrated energy has to go somewhere.
It doesn't just vanish.
No, it does not.
Yeah.
And Cancer rules the chest and the stomach area.
Oh, I see.
The emotional stress of biting your tongue gets swallowed. It literally settles right in your gut.
So you actually get poor digestion.
Yes, a very sensitive stomach, or just a feeling of physical heaviness and exhaustion.
So what do? How does someone clear that physical block when they are forced to deal with this heavy energy?
The chart suggests aggressive resting.
Aggressive resting. I love that phrase.
It is necessary. Cancer energy requires a retreat into a safe shell.
So stay home.
Stay home, turn off the notifications from work, and give your mind permission to just shut down. You have to avoid a complete burnout.
So like drink clean water, eat healthy meals?
Very simple, healthy meals for a sensitive stomach. You are protecting your physical health so your mind does not collapse under the weight of those strict rules.
Okay, so you are navigating this difficult start. You are doing the boring work perfectly. You are resting your stomach. You are staying quiet.
Doing all the right things.
Right, but you do not live in a vacuum. You still have to deal with other people.
And that is where the friction starts.
Exactly. This brings us to the middle of the week from April 20, stretching all the way to April 25. The charts show these intense clashing paces.
Brutal power struggles.
Yeah, and the biggest red flag is interacting with a specific type of person.
The astro charts could not be clearer here. Your absolute worst match during this stretch is anyone born under the sign of Taurus.
Wait, let us pause and really unpack this.
Sure.
Because you just said the sun moved into Taurus, giving us our grounding energy for the week. We are supposed to focus on our homes and our foundations.
That is right.
So if we're supposed to be using Taurus energy, shouldn't a Taurus person be our best match right now? Shouldn't they be helpful?
It is a great question, but we have to separate using a general energy from battling a human personality.
Okay, explain that.
The sun in Taurus provides an atmosphere. It is like the weather. You can use that weather to organize your own home.
Right.
But dealing with a Taurus person is dealing with the extreme embodiment of that energy.
And they are immovable.
Completely immovable. Taurus wants total comfort, total routine, and zero change.
And Aquarius wants tomorrow to look completely different from today.
Exactly. When an Aquarius interacts with a Taurus person right now, it is an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object.
So if you have a brilliant idea for a new project at work,
The Taurus coworker will just say, no, we do not do it that way.
and they will not budge.
They will not budge an inch. Attempting to compromise with them will just hit a wall of bitter frustration.
Because they just can't see your futuristic vision.
They are incapable of seeing it right now. It will feel suffocating.
So what is the best advice if you are married to a Taurus or your boss is a Taurus?
Keep your distance. Emotionally and practically, do not try to convince them of anything new.
So just keep your ideas in your notebook.
Stick to the absolute basics and keep your ideas hidden for now. You will lose the argument, and it will just make your stomach issues worse.
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
And we have another massive hurdle to clear in this middle section of the week.
Yes, on April 25.
Right. The sun in Taurus squares Pluto. Let us break down what a square actually is because it sounds intense.
It is very intense. In the astrological charts, a square happens when two planets are exactly 90 degrees apart.
So they are at cross purposes.
Imagine two cars speeding down different roads that meet at a four-way intersection with no stop signs.
They are going to crash.
They're going to crash. It forces a crisis. It demands action.
And the two cars in this crash are the Sun in Taurus and the planet Pluto.
Right.
We know Taurus represents the home office, the physical living space. But what does Pluto represent in this context?
Pluto is the planet of absolute power, control, and intense transformation.
Heavy stuff.
Very heavy. In this specific chart, Pluto is sitting in the area of your life that rules your career power and your public reputation.
So the car, representing your home, is crashing into the car representing your career power.
Exactly. A massive battle over the home office space.
This is something so many people struggle with anyway, but it sounds like it reaches a boiling point here. What does this power struggle actually look like?
It could be a very tricky family member making demands on your time, complaining that you are bringing heavy work energy into the home.
Or maybe the reverse.
Yes, a demanding business client who refuses to respect your boundaries, calling you during dinner and expecting you to jump.
The tension is basically about who controls your space and your time.
Who holds the power? Exactly.
That is a terrible feeling, being squeezed between your family and the people who pay you. Since Pluto is involved, I imagine the temptation is to fight back hard.
That is the trap. Pluto loves a toxic power play.
You want to yell or lay down an ultimatum.
But you cannot. The guidance here is that you must stay calm. You have to maintain absolute composure and avoid taking the bait.
Why? What happens if you fight back?
If you engage in screaming matches or workplace drama, it will severely damage your public reputation.
Oh, so everyone will see it.
Yes. If the client pushes you, state your boundaries with calm firmness. Do not escalate.
Just hold your ground by refusing to play the dramatic game.
Protect your reputation at all costs.
It takes so much self-control to just stand there and not scream. And all of this stress leads to a very specific psychological breaking point on April 23.
Yes, when the moon enters Leo.
Right, the moon enters Leo, and suddenly the charts show this overwhelming urge to spend money.
A very dangerous urge.
Leo is the sign of the performer, right? Glamour, pride, the spotlight.
Exactly. So when the moon, which controls your emotions, enters Leo, you suddenly care deeply about how you are perceived.
You want to look successful.
You want to impress people.
But wait, Aquarius is usually the sign that doesn't care about what the mainstream thinks.
Right, they usually don't.
They wear weird clothes, they have bizarre hobbies, they don't care about status symbols. Why the sudden obsession with luxury?
Because it is a trauma response to the events of the week.
A trauma response.
Think about it. You have been squashed by Saturn's rules, blocked by a stubborn Taurus, and challenged by Pluto's power plays. Your ego is heavily bruised.
Oh, so you're feeling small.
Yes. The Leo moon whispers to you, well, if you looked wealthier, people would respect you.
If I bought that expensive watch, my boss would treat me better.
Exactly. You feel an intense temptation to spend hard-earned cash on luxury items just to impress close business partners.
So it is using money to buy a shield for a wounded ego.
That is precisely what it is. But the charts give a massive warning here.
No silly purchases.
Absolutely none. Do not sign up for an expensive hobby. Do not buy a luxury item to impress a client who disrespects you anyway.
Because the relief is fake.
It only lasts a few hours, and then you are stuck with a huge bill. You must manage this insecurity with a strict budget.
Keep the wallet locked away.
Keep it locked up tight.
Okay, so let's say you survive the gauntlet. You followed the rules, you rested your stomach, you ignored the stubborn Taurus, stayed calm with Pluto, and kept your wallet closed.
If you manage all that, you reach the turning point.
Yes, April 24th. The pressure finally breaks.
We enter the spark.
The shift on April 24th just looks breathtaking in the charts. The muddy energy evaporates.
Completely evaporates. It is the payoff for your patience.
We see brilliant surprises, hidden money, playful romance. Let us analyze what happens with Venus, the planet of love and beauty.
Venus is doing a ton of work on this day. First, it meets up with Uranus in the sign of Taurus.
And Uranus is the planet of sudden shocks, right? Lightning bolts and radical changes.
Yes, and it is happening in the area of your home routine.
So what happens when the planet of love meets the planet of sudden shocks in your living room?
It shatters the boring routine. You have spent 4 days feeling trapped in your home.
Doing needlepoint.
Right. Suddenly, Uranus injects this huge surge of electricity into that environment.
Give me a real-world example. Are we talking about buying a new house?
Usually it is faster and more spontaneous than that. It is waking up and deciding to paint a wall a wild color.
Or throwing out the dinner plan and having a picnic on the floor?
Exactly. Surprising your partner by moving the furniture to create a dance floor, it brings a jolt of fun back to the home.
That sounds like such a relief. And it continues because later that same day, Venus actually leaves Taurus.
Yes, it moves into Gemini.
And Gemini is an air sign, just like Aquarius,
This transit is like finally opening a window in a stuffy, sealed room.
letting the fresh breeze in.
Gemini rules your true love sector in the charts. When Venus travels here, romance is no longer heavy
It becomes light and curious.
and incredibly verbal.
I find this so fascinating. For some signs, romance is about physical touch or expensive gifts.
Right?
But for air signs, the most romantic thing is just a genuinely interesting conversation.
That is the core of it. Verbal communication becomes highly romantic right now. Your mind is your most sensitive organ.
So if your partner wants to romance you, they don't buy you flowers.
No, they need to debate a strange philosophy with you for 3 hours.
That is amazing.
The charts suggest planning a fun, quick trip or just dedicating an evening to a fascinating, wide-ranging conversation.
So the romantic spark is huge, but we also have to talk about the money.
The hidden money.
Yeah, because a couple days ago, the chart said, do not spend your money. Keep the wallet locked.
Right.
But now, on April 24, the charts say, here is a secret way to make money. Mercury makes a helpful connection to Lilith.
A very unusual and helpful connection.
This points to hidden sources of extra income right in the local community. Let us explore Lilith, because Lilith is not actually a planet, right?
No, Lilith is a mathematical point in the sky. We often call it the dark moon.
Okay, and what does it represent?
In astrological charts, Lilith represents the shadow, the taboo, the rebel, and things that are hidden from plain sight.
And Mercury is your mind, your ideas, your local neighborhood.
Exactly. So when these two connect favorably, your mind can see hidden value that everyone else is ignoring.
It is like finding a secret side quest in a video game that pays out real gold right in your own backyard.
That is a great way to put it.
What does that actually look like for an Aquarius?
Well, because it involves Lilith, it will likely be quirky or unconventional.
So not just a regular part-time job.
No. You might notice local businesses struggling with a specific annoying problem, maybe strange recycling rules or bad software.
And because you are an Aquarius, you understand systems.
You see the fix immediately. You realize you could offer a very specific service to solve this for them.
Oh, and charge them for it.
Exactly. Or on a simpler level, you are at an estate sale and find an item that looks like junk to everyone else.
But you know how to refurbish it and sell it for a profit.
Yes. It is clever. Shadow income.
I love that. It rewards your unique way of looking at the world.
You do not have to conform to make money this week. You just have to be observant.
Also on April 24, the moon reaches its first quarter phase in Leo. Now, 2 days ago, the moon in Leo made you insecure. It made you want to buy fancy things to hide behind. What is different about the first quarter phase?
A first quarter moon is a crisis of action. It demands that you step into the light.
So no more hiding.
Exactly. Earlier, you were reacting from fear. Now the moon is stronger, and it floods you with pure confidence.
It asks you to boldly show your unique partnership ideas to the world.
You do not need the expensive watch anymore. You know your ideas are valuable.
It is the perfect moment to sit down with a business partner and outline a radical plan.
Or look at your romantic partner and commit to the marriage. You are claiming your space.
That Stark, on April 24, lights a fuse. And that fuse burns for 2 days, leading us to the grand finale.
April 26.
The payoff for all the careful planning. The charts show massive surges of ideas and soulful connections. And the headline here is enormous.
Uranus enters Gemini.
Uranus enters Gemini. We cannot overstate how important this is, right?
It is a massive deal in the charts. Uranus is your ruling planet.
It governs your whole identity as an Aquarius.
It dictates your pace, your style of rebellion, your genius,
Yeah.
and it moves very slowly. So when it changes signs, it marks a huge new chapter.
So if Uranus is moving from Taurus into Gemini, what does that actually feel like in the brain of an Aquarius?
Well, Taurus slowed your ruling planet down. It made you focus on heavy material things.
Right.
But Gemini is air. It is fast, intellectual, constantly gathering data.
So it speeds everything up.
It is like upgrading your brain's operating system, from an old dial-up modem to a fiber optic connection.
Oh, wow.
You are going to experience a sudden, overwhelming flood of unconventional new ideas.
Especially regarding romance and creativity.
Yes. You will see connections between concepts that you never saw before.
But the danger there, of course, is that a fiber optic brain can short circuit if you try to process too much at once.
Which is why the charts offer a strong warning here. Carefully plan your next big steps.
Do not rush blindly just because you have the energy.
Exactly. Your thoughts will be moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You need to write everything down, map it out.
Avoid making irreversible life changes in the heat of the moment.
Just capture the ideas first.
With your brain moving that fast, who can possibly keep up with you?
Well, certainly not a Taurus.
Right. If you try to talk to a Taurus right now, their head might actually explode.
They will run away from you. The absolute best match for you to interact with as the week closes is a Gemini.
Because you share the air element.
They speak your language perfectly. A Gemini mind is designed to process multiple streams of information at once.
They can keep up with the lightning.
You can present them with your strangest, most radical visions for the future, and instead of calling you crazy, they will ask for more details.
They find it fascinating, not weird. That is the ultimate relief.
To be understood without having to slow down.
And this brings us to the romance of April 26th, which is perhaps the most beautiful part of the whole week.
Venus connects beautifully with Neptune.
Let us analyze this mechanism. Venus is love and finances. Neptune is the planet of dreams, illusions, spirituality.
The dissolving of boundaries.
Right. So how do they work together?
Neptune acts like a deep fog that rolls in and erases the hard edges of reality.
Yeah, fair.
When it connects positively with Venus, it creates a deeply spiritual romance. It removes the ego.
You are no longer keeping score of who did the dishes or who paid for dinner.
Exactly. You feel a profound, soul-level connection to your partner.
And what if the listener is single?
The astro data suggests singles might encounter someone who feels like a literal dream come true.
Like a cinematic moment.
The connection will feel totally faded. And because Venus also rules money, this Neptune influence brings a sense of unconditional trust to your personal finances.
You just trust that the universe will provide.
You trust the flow.
But here's the massive paradox of the week. I really need to dig into this because it feels like two completely different realities trying to exist on the exact same day.
It does look contradictory at first glance.
Because while Venus and Neptune are giving you this magical, boundary-dissolving romance, the moon enters Virgo.
Yes, the Virgo moon.
And Virgo is the ultimate sign of boundaries, details, cleaning, and harsh reality.
Virgo is the auditor of the zodiac.
Right. The charts say this Virgo moon shines a bright light on shared income, taxes, deep debts, and deep mental traumas.
It demands that you organize your shared psychological resources.
Pay off old loans, figure out your taxes, maybe even start a strict new diet.
Listen to the body and clean up the mess.
Okay, so analyze this for me. How does a human being exist in both of these states on a Sunday?
It is a delicate balance.
On one hand, you are floating on a spiritual cloud of unconditional love. On the other hand, you are sitting at a desk, aggressively paying off credit card debt and scrubbing your past mental traumas.
Right.
They seem to cancel each other out. Does the Virgo reality crush the Neptune dream?
It sounds like a contradiction, but it is actually a beautiful symbiosis.
How so?
Think of your life as a house. Venus and Neptune want to throw a magical, beautiful ball in the grand ballroom.
Okay.
But if that ballroom is filled with boxes of old junk, unpaid bills, and unresolved emotional garbage...
There is no room to dance.
Exactly. The magic cannot enter. Virgo is the energy you use to sweep the floor.
Oh, wow. That is brilliant.
By using the Virgo moon to face your harsh realities, by finally organizing those taxes or actively cleaning out an old mental trauma, you remove the blocks.
You are clearing the space.
Doing the heavy, unglamorous work is the precise mechanism that allows the massive romance and fast ideas to land.
So Virgo builds the clean container, and Neptune fills it with water.
You cannot have the magic without doing the maintenance.
That completely reorients how to view this Sunday. So we have walked through this massive, intense week. Let us give the listener their astrological toolkit.
The practical anchors for the week.
Right, the specific lucky items they can use to steady themselves while all of this planetary movement is happening. Let us start with the dates.
The most important dates to mark on your calendar are April 24 and April 26.
And just to remind everyone why, April 24th is the breakthrough day. the spark.
Yes, when the pressure lifts, you find that hidden Lilith income and Venus brings fresh air to love.
And April 26th is the grand finale.
The day Uranus changes signs and you clear the psychological clutter.
The charts also provide a sequence of lucky numbers for the week:
Hmm.
11, 16, 24, 31, 37, and 43.
Yes, a very specific set of numbers.
How should an Aquarius practically use these? Like, do they play the lottery?
I never recommend relying on the lottery. Instead, use these numbers as markers of alignment in your daily life.
Give me an example.
Say you were brainstorming ideas for that hidden income, and you realize an opportunity involves a building at number 37.
Or a proposal requires 16 steps.
Exactly. Pay closer attention to it. Use these numbers when setting times for important conversations.
Like scheduling that bold partnership talk on the 24th.
Or setting a timer for 11 minutes of meditation to calm your stomach early in the week.
That makes a lot of sense. And finally, the color of the week is blue,
Very important color this week.
which makes perfect sense for an air sign. But how does it function practically when dealing with, say, that difficult Taurus coworker?
Think back to the beginning of the week. You are dealing with Saturn's strict rules and that stomach stress.
Right, swallowing your frustration.
Blue is the color associated with the throat chakra, which governs clear, honest, and calm communication.
So it helps you speak clearly.
Wearing a blue shirt or having a blue object on your desk while drafting those difficult emails helps filter your frustration.
It cools down the hot Mars energy.
It acts as a visual reminder to speak calmly. It protects your reputation and soothes your sensitive stomach.
It is like a wearable anchor.
Exactly.
Well, Aquarius, you have an unbelievably dynamic, demanding, and ultimately rewarding week ahead of you.
A very powerful week.
You are being asked to master the boring details, protect your physical energy, dodge power struggles, and then completely open your mind to new visions.
It requires incredible mental agility.
But if any sign in the zodiac is built to handle that kind of rapid adaptation, it is you.
It is a week that will age you a little bit on Monday, but make you feel entirely reborn by Sunday.
Closing out old chapters and stepping into a much faster current.
A completely new foundation.
Thank you for listening to this episode on Horoscope TV. Be sure to subscribe so that you can get notified when the next episode is available.
And as you navigate all of these heavy shifts and brilliant breakthroughs, I want to leave you with one final thought to carry with you.
What is that?
If you are truly using this week's energy to completely clean out your old mental traumas and old debts, what completely, entirely new, radical version of yourself are you making room for when the next cycle begins?